Jury selection has begun in the criminal trial of Steve Bannon. The chief strategist to former President Trump is charged with 2 counts of criminal contempt of Congress for refusing to comply with a subpoena issued by the January 6th Select Committee. Nikole Killion reports.
How you doing, guys? Thanks for showing up.
Steve Bannon waved to the cameras entering federal court Monday. Inside, the former White House strategist sat mostly masked with his hands clasped during jury selection. The former Trump advisor faces 2 counts of contempt of Congress, each carrying a penalty of up to a year in jail after defying a subpoena from the January 6th committee.
It's nothing but a show trial.
Committee members say they're still open to hearing from Bannon, who recently offered to testify.
If he wants to give us his information, we're eager to get it.
Of interest to the committee are 2 phone calls Bannon had with former President Trump on January 5th when he offered this warning.
All hell is going to break loose.
In a primetime hearing Thursday, the panel will focus on the 187 minutes of the Capitol siege, describing the former president's inaction as a dereliction of duty. It has also subpoenaed records from the Secret Service after the agency acknowledged some text messages from January 5th and 6th may have been deleted.
It's hard to believe that you would go forward in a transition, you do a factory reset of the phones of agents and not back up the data. I mean, who does that?
A watchdog group said the agency likely broke the law by deleting the text.
What is pretty rare is that government records that are within the nexus of a congressional investigation go missing.
And Nikole Killion joins me now for more. Nikole, 2 weeks ago, Steve Bannon had a bit of an about-face. He said he would now be willing to testify before the January 6th committee. So why is the trial going forward?
Well, in terms of Bannon saying that he was willing to testify, he and his legal team, to a certain extent, had hoped maybe that might be a way to perhaps delay the trial. They have been asking for a delay for some time now. And so the federal judge involved in this case pretty much indicated that this trial is going to go forward, whether or not, Bannon is willing to cooperate, which is something he, again, just recently stated.
And so if the trial is going to go forward, there are others who are probably watching, others who have refused the subpoena. Some legal experts say these charges are so significant because they're uncommon. So what kind of message could the federal government be trying to send here?
Well, again, these counts are specifically related to contempt of Congress, and up until now, Steve Bannon has not complied with the Select Committee's request. So basically, prosecutors are arguing that he should be prosecuted for that non-compliance. And again, to a certain extent, that's why you're seeing Bannon and his legal team kind of say, well, look, he is willing to testify. He may be willing to talk to the panel now. But that being said, this is kind of a cut and dry case in the view of the prosecution, which believes that there should be consequences for his inability to come before the committee up until this point. And certainly the committee has long argued that with all of these contempt citations that it has referred to the Justice Department, that it does want to send a message that, nobody is above the law, and they do expect cooperation with their probe.
So we're going to switch gears a little bit now to other work that's going on in Congress. It's always very busy before members try to leave for August. So what's on the agenda before everybody gets out of town?
Oh, well, there's quite a bit, and keep in mind with this being an election year, a lot of this August will be spent with these various members of Congress trying to get out to campaign. So that being said, they are trying to get a few things off of their to-do list before that August recess. A couple of things that are a priority. For instance, we know that Democrats have long sought to do some form of a Build Back Better package to highlight parts of President Biden's agenda. And so this is a package that started off with quite a hefty price tag, but has since been winnowed down after West Virginia Senator Joe Manchin indicated that he would not support the package late last year because of the hefty price tag. But also now he is expressing support for a much narrower package after negotiations with Democratic leaders senators over these past couple of months. So that is something the Democrats would like to get done before this break, primarily because one of the aims of this narrower package is to extend subsidies under the Affordable Care Act. Those premiums are due to come out in August, so they want to get that done before then. And also this reconciliation package would also help to lower the cost of prescription drugs, which is yet another priority for Democrats. Also, in addition to that, we expect Congress to take up, for instance, a big trade package. There was this competition bill that was aimed at boosting competition with China. That, too, has now been scaled back, but again appears on track to be taken up by the Senate as soon as this week. Instead, will extend and provide more funding for semi-chip conductors in the semiconductor chip industry. So that is another package that lawmakers have been working on for the better part of the year that they want to try to eke out before this August recess, among other things.
Whittling it all down to try and get it done before they leave. Nikole Killion, thanks so much, giving us the full update on what's happening in Congress. Thanks so much.
You bet.